Man, I love that song. Hey, friends, welcome to Devine and the Dog, where you can see the dog is taking center stage right now over there in Arkansas. Megan Devine, joined by Chase Sessoms, but more importantly, Rosie Sessoms.
Yeah. Rosie didn't make an appearance last week, but she's back, and she was
busy, right? Was she busy last week?
I feel like, I mean, she's really thrown herself into her studies. Really, she's in a PetSmart puppy class. I think between her and the other two dogs, she might be number one in her class, which also includes a fluffy dog named, you guessed it, Fluffy. But yeah, she's really digging in. I think her puppy SAT scores are going to be great. You know,
excellent. You must be really proud.
Yeah. She is the smartest. She's my smartest child in the house. Right. My kids don't watch this show, so it's okay. I can say that.
It's fine. Yeah, your wife doesn't either, so she'll never know.
I also feel like she's quintupled in size since the last time I had her on the show because my shoulder is killing me right now.
Yeah, she's large. I don't know the last time she was here. I also feel like her face changed. Like, did she do like a face swap with some other kind of dog?
Her head completely changed colors. Like, she was like a nice like German chocolate kind of color, and now she's like the color of a Duracell battery, just out of nowhere. It's
right. It's like her spring summer highlights coming in from the sun.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I think she put a little lemon juice in it, took care of it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's good. Glad to hear that Rosie is staying up on her studies and doing well there in school. I had 2 more baby goats born this weekend because why not? You know, surprise. I came home from Keeneland on opening day and I was like, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep. No, we got 2 more.
Do you ever get asked to do something that you don't want to do by someone you don't really know? You're like, listen, man, I got 8 kids at home. And I'm pretty tied up.
That is a great excuse. You know what? I haven't used that, but coming your way sometime soon.
And it's not technically lying.
I know. It's right. It's completely right. Factual. I like it. So besides the animals with the puppies and the kids, what else did we have last weekend? We had a major weekend for Kentucky Derby prep races. We had the Bluegrass Stakes here in Kentucky. We also had the Santa Anita Derby out there in California. And of course, in New York, we had the Wood Memorial. So it was a pretty big weekend. And we had, I thought, some really good results. There's a lot of like heavy favorite horses going into those races, and they ended up being pretty surprising results, I thought, for some of them.
Yes. For someone who was a complete shock-eating weasel, they were very surprising results, and not necessarily in the good way.
Yeah. Well, I at least was not surprised by Zandon. Very happy that that worked out there. He was like, I think he went off at 4-1 when all was said and done. But man, did he look good through that. He had an awesome ride. There was some bumping in the beginning of the home stretch there, but he just came through. And I don't know if it's just the way he runs or this horse has like an extremely long neck. But I was taking pictures there and at Keeneland, and I swear his neck is like 1.5 times longer than everybody else. So if he's ever in a photo finish situation, I think he's going to come out on top.
That reminds me of the time I saw Taraz at Oaklawn whenever she was running in the Oaks preps, and I was like, who dyed the giraffe? Like, how did this? Did we check the lip tattoo? How did the giraffe get in this race?
Yeah, 100%. That's kind of what I felt from Zandon. So beautiful horse, but yeah, I thought he was a little long in the neck there, which could be a good thing. Then we had, of course, the Santa Anita Derby, where I think both you and I were somewhere between Messier and Forbidden Kingdom, who were supposed to be like the top 2 horses in the U.S. Forbidden Kingdom.
You were a weasel with me. We were both on Forbidden Kingdom.
Weasels, just total weasels. And he came up empty. What happened?
If you believe the reason that he's being pulled out of the Kentucky Derby, he's got a epiglottis issue, and to which I say #epiglottal justice for Papa Mandela. It's a long hashtag, but I'm tired of these horses of a lifetime being knocked out by the little dangly
by
thing.
The epiglottis, by the little flap in the throat. Yeah. Big little flap, big problems. 100%. Messier ran a great race though, but Taiba came out of nowhere. And he just got faster as it went along. Like, I was like, wow, that horse is really fast. And he beat two of the fastest horses, at least in my opinion, in the West Coast. And then he just got even, he hit another gear at the 16th hole right before the finish line. And I thought that was chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Great performance.
Especially because that Santa Anita stretch just looks so tiring. Those horses look exhausted trying to make up ground. So it was a big run.
Yeah, for sure. Then we head to my hometown back there in New York, and we had the Wood Memorial where I think we were between like early voting and Morello. Neither of those horses won. What happened?
Yeah, we actually have video of the stretch run that I'm going to throw in here.
They hit the top of the stretch. 3/4.
There's my pick. Early voting. Look at that. Just cruising. Not a care in the world.
Here. Early voting in front.
No, actually, I think Jose might have lost the whip. I can't tell. It looks. I'm not sure if he's got the crop because it looks like he's just going to the hand up to the shoulder.
I think he still has it. I don't know.
It's Mo Donegal and early voting.
We'll have to see. But this, I thought that was super impressive. What I like about that too, that race, is that a lot of times in the Kentucky Derby, I mean, there's 20 horses in the field. There's a lot of trouble that they have to deal with time and time again, right? So I like that you can find a horse sometimes that has dealt with that before and has done a little weaving, has had a little dirt in the face before, because between the first turn, trying to get your positioning, and then when you turn for home, everything can just go haywire. So I like the fact that I thought it was a superb ride by the jockey. And I thought that was kind of a Kentucky Derby, like, winning style. I thought it was a good run that showed a lot of maturity. And I like that coming into the first Saturday in May.
The ability to save ground, stock, still be forwardly placed, but still have tactical speed. It's a good sign. And closed. Yes, absolutely. Big time. For sure. Big time run.
So that was a good one. Unfortunately, neither one of us had that in our Body Armor Betting Edge pick, but that's okay. We'll try again. There's still one more Kentucky Derby prep race, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. So, newsworthy. What's happening in the news, Chase? I hear we had John Oliver blackmailing Congress with their own data.
Yes. John Oliver, the topic of his show on Sunday was shady data brokers who take your data, and within a couple of steps, even though it's been anonymized, if that's a word, they can still kind of work back to who they are. So they did some highly targeted ads with like cookies and stuff, and they were able to target them to a certain area in Capitol Hill. And so basically then he went and bought all of this data from a shady data broker because he's convinced that if it's their data that comes out, they will pass a law in a hurry to protect people's online privacy and confidentiality.
Okay. I like it.
I do too.
I know. Yeah. This is exciting because I didn't know before. I mean, because I'm just not that smart, I guess. But I mean, when you go to a website and there's annoying, the cookie thing would pop up, you'd be like, yeah, whatever, sure. But now I'm like, wait a minute. No, because it comes up for everything. And I go to details and then you reject it and it's good. But before I was so dumb. I just said yes to everything. It was like, let me just see my website,
Yeah. I do I just say yes to everything. When I turn on my phone, it just sparks and whistles now at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is fascinating. And I'm excited to see what comes from that. And good on John Oliver. He's a smart guy. What else we got in our newsworthy topics here? We have
the Masters last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, people won, people played golf, whatever. But
whatever, something like that.
There's an Australian golfer named Cam Smith.
More importantly,
and I want he's got a look. Okay. I want your take on this look.
Unfiltered, authentic take on this. Okay. Can you put it up again?
Do you see it again? Yeah.
The only thing that really bothers me is the mustache.
Not the mullet?
Well, it's hard to tell that it is an actual mullet because sometimes if you have long hair and then you put the hat on, everything gets pushed back. So I stand corrected. My issues would be the mustache and the mullet if the mullet exists.
Right. To me, it's not even a mustache. It's like a mustache died and it had unfinished business on this earthly plane, and now it's just the ghost of a mustache haunting his upper lip.
Just like
It's-
a few little.
It's Cam Smith wants to know if we want to see him feed his pet snake, and the answer is undoubtedly yes. I thought he should wear a tank top and have a pet iguana and ride a dirt bike in between shots.
I feel like those should definitely be prop bets. So in Vegas, like, can we bet on what golfers are going to wear and, things like that? Because I feel like you could bet on what the queen's going to wear in Royal Ascot when she comes into the paddock, like what color. And I'd like to have some prop bets on some of that stuff. I think
with as varied as the color palette of
that's what I mean.
Golfers have. I mean, they've got to get good odds there,
I think I'm onto something. Absolutely.
So.
At me, ADWs.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. So apparently intelligent people became less happy during the pandemic, and the opposite happened for, let's call it, less intelligent, or can we just say, the dummies,
the dum-dums.
I want your take on this. How did you feel?
I felt really self-conscious reading this because I've been happy as hell. I've just been hanging out in basketball shorts, eating string cheese, and
you're fully thriving here at this point, right?
Living my best life, 100%.
Mm-hmm. It seems like that. Yeah, I don't mind my growling dog here. She's really hungry, if you can hear that. I also feel like I got happier.
Don't let that dog bother you. You got kids to feed. You got 8 kids that you're trying to take
care of.
She's
over here. Can you see her?
There you go. So you got happier too?
I mean, I got engaged. I got married. I got a bunch of animals. I got a bunch of kids, baby goat kids. Kids. I mean, I feel like I did pretty well. So I don't know what that says about me.
Me and you are just a couple of dum-dums. Tune in each week to see these dum-dums.
Yep. Dum-dum and the dum-dum. Dum-dum and the dog.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. Back to horse racing.
We've got just one last Derby prep left, Megan.
Yeah.
It's the last chance to get any Derby points. I know. It always goes way too quick. It'll be the Breeders' Cup before we know it.
100%.
It's not worth a bunch of points, but it might be just enough to get somebody into the gate late. It's the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland, and they're going a mile and a 16th around the main track. What are you thinking here?
So what's really interesting about this is a lot of times it doesn't really, not that it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still a Kentucky Derby prep race. It matters, but there's like a huge tie between a lot of horses with the 20 points. And so this is going to be a big deal for somebody to try to get into the Derby. And I think there'll even be a tie if great. Now the dog's going to go play with squeaky toys. If that horse wins. And I think they break the tie based off prize money, but I got to check that. So it's going to be pretty interesting based off that result. I am going to go with Major General for Todd Pletcher. He's getting the blinkers on. This is a horse that I think Todd liked for a while. He won his first 2 races. Then they gave him a little vacation, the winter time to grow up. He comes back in the Tampa Bay Derby and he just runs nowhere. I don't know what happened. It was a very uncharacteristically bad race for a seemingly very talented Todd Pletcher trainee. So they're going to add the blinkers. I think he's going to be more focused. I think he's going to be a little bit faster. And you got to like the fact that Irad Ortiz is getting on him because he does really well. I don't know if you're familiar with that jockey name, but he wins like 26%. So he's doing great.
I think I've heard of him. I think he seems familiar.
For sure. Yeah. Something like that. It's basically like in golf. If you've heard of Tiger Woods, you heard of Irad Ortiz. It's kind of the same thing. So I will say that there is another horse that I kind of want to pick. How you have those names, those hunch play names. You're like, what? Why not? I'm going to throw a couple bucks down across the board or to show or something like that. Cannot help but the number 3 horse. We all see it, but only because now my mom's calling me, only because I like the commercials, the progressive commercials, where they're try not to become your parents. We all see it. We all see it.
Those are so cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll have to rate insurance commercial personalities at some point because that's just a gold mine right there.
How could you not like that?
Yeah. So I went a different way, but also a very familiar way. Have I shared the good news of the Dale Tar with you yet?
Oh, gosh. This again.
And a little horse.
I think you have.
Well, he has a little horse. That's right.
Uh-huh.
For the
This
third
is the
time.
75th time you have picked this horse.
Yes.
Just so you know.
Yes, I found a
And
nice
he's
shade tree. I want you to
only-
bear me under. I'm dying on this hill.
Yeah, 100%. The horse has only run 4 times, but you have picked him 76 times. I feel like it.
Yeah, a large percentage of the time. But listen,
Yeah.
okay, he had a bad fountain of youth. That was a weird race. There was a bias at play. There was clipped heels, riders going down,
that's
horses
true.
going down.
That's true. That did happen.
They also shipped him from Kentucky, where he was running just great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does like Kentucky.
Down to Florida, he's throwing bullets at Taiba Bay. Then they call it audible. They send him into the Fountain of Youth. Maybe it threw him off a little bit. Maybe being back home, the home cooking for Dale Romans has Howling Time and Smoking Joe Talamo ready to get in the Derby gate.
A little bourbon added to his water there.
Yeah.
And be ready to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, if you ever go to Keeneland, if you find yourself there, have the bourbon bread pudding, and you'll be drunk because that's how much bourbon is in that. Love it. It's great. Amazing.
I enjoy eating my drunk. I actually have just a jar of pickles soaking in pure grain alcohol in my fridge.
There you go. You get it.
Yeah, totally.
You get it. I get it. Howling Time gets it. So
that's right.
We'll see if you'll be able to get it. Yeah, so we are off next week. A little bit of quiet time, prepping up for the Kentucky Derby. And of course, when we come back, the fields will be essentially set for the Kentucky Derby, barring any changes there. And the Kentucky Oaks, if you're into that too, for the fillies on Friday. And we'll have everything to talk horses, Derby, and honestly, who knows what else, because this is the Devine and the dog. And that's just what we do here, Chase.
Yeah, we chop it up. We talk everything.
Everything.
Except for a few things, but mostly everything.
But mostly everything, yeah. So add us if you have any topics that you'd like to throw in for our shows coming up for the Kentucky Derby. And I guess we'll see you next time. This is Devine and the Dog. I'm Megan. That's Chase. This is ABR. Tune in soon. Bye.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues. Cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. AmericasBestRacing.net is a sport for you.